Bitcoin and Ethereum. What's the next move? Oh my gosh. Oh, let's find out in the chart, shall we? As you know, Bitcoin dumped heavily, right, for the week. And now we're wondering, right, is this support here going to hold? And are we going to bounce at least up to the trend line up here, right? Come on, Bitcoin, before we come back down. And maybe we'll turn around and make a W and off we go. We're going to talk about that possibility and more in today's episode, but we're also going to talk about an elephant in the room. Yes, unless you were under a rock somewhere, I'm sure you weren't. The latest drama, of course, right, is here. I'm going to bring it up on the screen here. Is the crypto face, right? He's saying that I stole his indicator. Well, I didn't steal anything. I'm promoting someone else's indicator. Thank you for, giving everybody, giving this guy free advertisement. Yeah, and this indicator is clearly the same because, he has buy and sell markers on his indicator, just like this one does. Oh, wait, that's right. He does not. So if you want to make things easier on yourself, right? The reason why he did go on to, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I'm sure he did mention that I met him in Bali and stuff like that, and that was the first time I met him. And I'm gonna be honest, right? I did see his indicator, and I thought there's no way you could trade with this. This is horrible, right? And not only did I think that, but also Tone Bays thought that, and Tone Bays ripped him a new one. I couldn't watch anymore. I had to leave when he was like, when Tone Bays said, "Hey, listen, let's go back in time. Let's choose a time period, right, and see how well your indicator works and see how you trade it." And he couldn't trade it. Wow. And so I wasn't going to use that. so that was my experience. Now, I felt that Tone Bays was very mean to him and not very forgiving. And I asked everybody else, do you think Tone Bays ripped him a new one? And it was kind of nasty. And then they all agreed, right? Now, so, but Tone Bays was mean to everyone, including myself. But I managed to handle myself very, very well. So, he was like equal opportunity. Oh my gosh. So, yeah. Anyways, and I don't want to go on anymore about this because, you know what, I've done this before because I've had YouTube channels for a very long time. And I've been doing these videos. You see all these videos like Don Harrell, right? Don Harrell is evil, silver bubble BS, right? I mean, nobody cares. Nobody cares. In the long run, right? It doesn't matter. All these 10-year videos, you think it doesn't matter that I fought with all these people? No, it doesn't matter. So why am I going to fight with Crypto Face, right? I believe this indicator is sufficiently different. The main part of this indicator, right, is the buy and sell indications, right, which he doesn't have, which is clear. It doesn't work all the time. No indicator does. And if anybody tells you that it does, they are lying to you, right? It does show you clearly where to buy and where to sell, and that's the hardest part for any person who's looking and using any kind of indicators for trading. The best way to use this indicator is to actually go onto lower time frames, right? And switch to Hakanashi candles, and so that it gives you the lesser what's it called, lower amount of hits, like indications of sell or buys. So it's a lot less indications than if you were to use the regular candlesticks. So that's how you would best use it. Now, there's other ways to use this indicator, but I will go into that in other videos. So yeah, that's how you'd use this indicator, and that's, you know what, honestly, I think when you simplify an indicator, it's worth more money, because a lot of people You know, like think about it, right? How do you use or stick the RSI, right? Do you know how to use the RSI? Right? I bet you most people don't, right? And I explain it to you, right? Because this is an oscillating indicator. But, right, to use it with trading, right, you have to know one thing. You can't rely on just that one indicator because you're going to lose. You have to use multiple indicators. That's another thing, right, to help you decide whether or not to trade, right? With this, you could use just you could technically just use this indicator of buy, sell, buy, sell. That's it, right? Saving you a lot of time, a lot of study, a lot of like, okay, so if this indicator and this indicator and that indicator is true, then I buy. Or if this one and this one is true, then I sell. And it saves you a lot of time looking at the charts, right? That's why it's more expensive. Okay, so with that said, let's go on to the 4 hour and talk about what's happening here on the local time frame for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So Bitcoin is bottoming here. Look, don't be surprised if we try to retest the lows here to scare out a little more people, right? So and then we're probably going to bounce. We're actually oversold here, and you can see the indicators are starting to turn higher slightly. So Bitcoin and also Ethereum loves to like just quickly wipe out the any longs that jumped in too early, and then continue on its upwards trajectory. No guarantees from the management, but that's generally what happens when Bitcoin dumps. It has to recover a little bit and then fail again. A failure of this level, of course, I mean, we're pretty much in a downward spiral here. Don't be surprised if we continue on that downward spiral, but it is possible for us to break out of this, right? So it's not impossible, just unlikely at this point in time that we're gonna break out of this and create a W and go higher. It's unfortunate. It's just the way it is now. Of course, we could always say that this is Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin. Yes, this is Bitcoin. Unfortunately, we have to use TA as much as we possibly can to figure out where it's going to go. And so effectively, a hit of this support level is normal, and then a bounce off of it is normal. For us to break through probably a strong support level, let me just go back. Yes, it is relatively strong. You can see that it was actually resistance before several times. So it is also support. It was also support a few times. So that means it is a very solid resistance and support level. You can see it even goes back way back, all the way back here as a support and resistance. So it is very important level. Right. So the odds of us just breaking through it is relatively low. It's still possible, but relatively low. It's the most likely scenarios that we're going to head back up to this trend line. At the very least, at the very best, actually, case scenario. Unfortunately, it's the best case scenario. We might not even do that. Unfortunately, we might only go as high as the 38.2 from the last turn. So let's bring that up. See where that 38.2 is. Hopefully that's right where that trend line is, so that you can at least make a decent trade. A little bit slow here. Yeah, just give me a second. There we go. So let me just put this right up here. There we go. So the 38.2 is, they say, there you go. So like 44, like the previous support level, the previous resistance level. Well, it was support, but now it's going to be resistance. And so it's unfortunate that that's the case, right? The 38.2 is exactly where we have previous support, which will turn into resistance as we come back up. So there it is. Like you can't. Let me just move this a little bit. Hang on. There we go. So right around where the previous support is where the 38.2. So don't be surprised if we come up here and chop around here and then decide to break down. If we break higher, we're probably just going up to the trend line, of course, right? So that's where we're at, right? And that's probably where the 61.8 is. Yep, there it is, 61.8, which is the 47,000, giving people last ditch hope. Hey, Bitcoin's going higher, so I would suggest most likely to start scaling out of your positions, your long-term positions, if you feel inclined to do so. But keep in mind, you would have to scale back in at 53, above 53, which would suck, right? Because you've lost that gap. But that's just the way it is, right? When you take a risk, right? You have to set your stop losses, and your stop loss has to be the 53. So if you're going to go short on this, right, the 53, and pound the short really hard, the 53 is your walk away time, because then this thing could explode very, very fast to 60,000 once it breaks above the $53,000 level. So that's your hope and prayers for today. We're looking to buy probably a what's it called, Hail Mary buy. Most likely I would start at the 61.8 from here at this point, because we're on the 4 hour. Most likely the 61.8 this is a target, not a 78.6, and it looks like we're already at it. Oh, hang on, a little bit more further down, because we need to hang on, I'm gonna look at this other screen because the one's in front of me is a little slow. There we go, and there we go. Yeah, we're almost at the 61.8. You could always just add more at the 78.6 and stop loss it right at the bottom there at 40,500, because this thing could landslide out of there should it break. Not looking so good, because we're on the 4 hour, and the 4 hour, it cannot break above the 13 EMA. That is not a pretty sight. We could get an express elevator to hell, straight down all the way to 38,000. Okay, let's continue on over to Ethereum. Ethereum is just is worse. We've broken back into this downward trend line. We've broken above it and then we bounced off of it and then broke right back into it, and now we're like bouncing on the other side of this downward trend line, sloping trend line, which is horrible. Let me just draw this another way. Let me quickly remove that. Oops. There we go. And then add array. And then there you go. You can see that we've broken down. You can see it clearly. And now we're on the wrong side of a downward trend line. And that's not a good sign at all. That means we'll probably touch the bottom side of this trend line, this lower trend line. And yeah, we're going a lot lower fast on Ethereum, unfortunately. Momentum might give us like a chance to see Ethereum pump out of this for a short while before it actually comes up, before it breaks down. But don't be surprised if we only get up to the 3,400-ish area and break down. Not good at all. Looking at the dominance, please show me some positive news on the dominance here. Okay, so we have the tightening band still. That's good. That means we haven't chosen a direction yet, but we're going to be breaking out in a direction big time. Unfortunately, looking at the RSI, we've actually overextended our welcome at the bottom here and created a divergence, and the divergence is ouch, confirmed. A bullish divergence confirmed right here. This is not good at all. This is not good. We've confirmed a bullish divergence, meaning that alts are going to take a big dump and head up, right? Is the most likely scenario based on the RSI here, and let's see, has that been also been confirmed on the MACD? Oh no, it has not been confirmed. Oh yes, what is this? Maybe it has. Let's see here. From this one, nope, no confirmation yet. So confirmation would come out over up here, and so that's only positive sign, and we haven't have full confirmation on this. Oh boy, well, not much we can do. We'll just have to wait and see if the dominance can break back down below the 13 EMA there. Things are looking a little bit dicey. We can always hope that this thing bounces off of the what's it called, 42% level, and then we can see this thing reverse back down with a big nice juicy M on this other side here, and then boom, down we go. But not looking so good, because I really want to see a nice what's alt season for February, and because that's the normal time for the alt season, and then yeah, we'll at least get some BTC with the little old lady strategy. So if you don't know what the little old lady strategy is, you could head over to davincicodes.net/videos, and you can sign up and check out some videos on how to do the little old lady strategy to earn some more Bitcoin, because it doesn't matter that Bitcoin's going down, right? Bitcoin, it will prevail. I lived through watching Bitcoin go from $1. I first started buying at 67 cents. Watch it go all the way up to $32 and crash all the way back down to $2, and then stay around $7 for over a year. Didn't have any concern at all about its longevity. I knew, even when nobody else knew about Bitcoin, that it's going to be the money of the future. I was absolutely clear on that, absolutely sure on that, and I am today. So nothing's going to stop it. Yes, the Fed may be manipulating the price. Yes, the government might be manipulating the price. It doesn't matter. It's only a temporary thing. Within the next 5 to 10 years, right, all of this noise will be ignored, and everybody who have held their Bitcoins, right, which is a really difficult thing to do, right? I know, because I've done it. They will be rewarded. So make sure you're the one of those people who are rewarded in the long term. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Or maybe tomorrow, actually. Not next week. Cheers.